Oh my god, why am I stuck with this? The fuck is this? Did I just... What happened? What was that? Come on, move! Alright, come. Oh, you're eating now? Okay. Come on, I don't fear anybody, dude. Hello guys, welcome back to another video, and today I want to show you the build that I've been using to leveling up in New World. As you know, if you saw my previous videos, I did a build for PvP. For PvE, you have to switch things up a little bit. I have the build that I've been using so far, and I've been enjoying it. It's very good for solo gameplay. Also in groups, also performs really well. And I'm gonna be showing you what talents I'm using, why I've been using them, and what points I've been spending on the tree so far. So let's jump into the rapier first. As you notice, I'm focusing more on the right side. The main talent of this build is evade. Okay, evade is a very fantastic talent for PvE. I love it. And also repulsive, which is a staple if you are any rapier user. You have to have this talent in your build, okay? Because basically it can counter anything that is coming towards you. And not only that, if you have multiple players, you're PvPing or NPCs, and you're repulsive when everybody's close together, everybody gets the effect of the stun, right? You want to expect into insult to injury, which basically all your attack become interruptible for 3 seconds. So basically kinda gives you that great effect. Then you have priority, which basically reduces all your other abilities by 20% when you land on stun, which is very key for this build, and also is pretty much a bonus. Then lasting consequence, honestly, I think you can probably pass this. You're only getting 0.5 seconds. It's not really that impactful. I wish it was buff, at least get a little like an extra second. Maybe it will be buff in the future, who knows, but I have it there just because. And then before I go into the evade, I'm speccing all my points in this build for cooldown reductions. Alright, and when I explain the build, you're gonna notice that everything adds up, and you're gonna notice why evade becomes so powerful. And not only evade, other skills as well become really powerful because you basically have them available most of the time. So I expect red curtains, which basically any critical strikes reduce your cooldowns by 5%. Right, and then I also have swiftness, which gives you up to 15%. It stacks for 5 times, so you get a maximum of 15% here. Then I'm using fletch, and fletch, to be honest, this is something that I'm using it more for the either or crap situations, or I need to like I'm just walking around in the open world, because it gives you that, you know, extra like jump when you're walking around. All right, and I'm gonna tell you how I'm using this right now. Then I have evade, which is basically the key talent of this build, because it performs a sidestep on your current mode duration that cancels any activity and provides momentary invulnerability. Light attacks made during evade outperform essentially fast. So you basically, when you spam light attacks, you become a machine, just hitting whatever is in front of you. All right, and this is thanks to breathe in. All right, you gain that 20% stamina immediately in use, and I'm telling you why this talent is very key, especially when you're using evade on the moving throughout the world. All right, and then you have a legger, which gives you 20% movement speed for 3 seconds, which is a lot. So in case you need to basically like maybe run away because there's so many NPCs or players, stuff like that, it might give you like that little extra edge there to move faster than others. And then you also have agile, which basically doing this skill in a forward manner, it will increase your damage by 15%. All right, then you have crescendo, which basically any individual successful light attacks reduce the cooldown of this ability by 30%, guys. All right, the cooldown itself of this ability is low already, right? So by having this, by also sometimes even using this talent, by using raid contains, and also using refreshing strikes, you basically have evade almost the entire time, like in average like every 3 to 2 seconds. Right, it's crazy. And then you have momentum, which is another good talent, especially for this build, because you gain 25% increased damage on your next light attack or heavy attack after performing an ability. So if you put RIPOSTE, you have that momentum, and you constantly spamming evade, so you constantly have momentum up pretty much the entire time that you're fighting something. Of course, you have flesh. Like I said, this is more for, I would say, more catching somebody or trying to run away or moving around the open world. Not very fan of the skill, but right now, since I'm leveling up, it's very useful. But after I hit 60, I think for PvE wise, I might use Tondo, because with all the cooldown reduction that you have in this build, you basically gonna have 3 stacks on bleed mostly all the time. So that's the plan that I have so far. When I reach the maximum level of my Rapier, and I reach high levels. And then on here, so far I have reflection strike, like I said, reduce all the cooldowns by 1% on any hit. And then you have guard, which basically do 10% more damage on the target that has greater than 50% health. All right, so that's as far as the Rapier. In terms of the spear, I use this for more the CC factor. Is you can still output a lot of damage with it, but it's more slow paced compared to the Rapier. Like I said, I use this more for the CC factor when I want to like CC somebody or my other abilities on cooldown. Keep in mind that this setup is for PvE. I usually use ball kick in PvP. I've been practicing with javelin. That spear toss is clutch sometimes, especially when you're dealing with ranged enemies. I'm trying to get really good with it, and I'm making a lot of progress with it. Now, in terms of the impaler tree, I use SKEWER because SKEWER gives me that bleed effect, and this could be good very in a couple ways. When you're doing PvP, basically help with the region when everybody is like well fed, or using region potions or whatever the case is, or trying to eat. I went full down street because it gives you more damage on that initial hits. If you get that target at full health, you get 20% more damage. When you go down any critical strike, it gives you empower, that gives you 20% damage for 10 seconds. There's other gear in the game that enhances your empower even more, so you can get insane amount of damage. So keep in mind on that. And then you also have the one, which basically increase your duration of the bleed for 15 seconds. That's a lot of time, guys. So if you land that bleed, you're basically gonna be pretty much lethal if you hit all your heavy and light attacks. Now the other skills that I have here is finishing blow, which give me 15% damage of people that they are below 30%. So that's really good when you're trying to finish somebody off. That damage becomes very clutch. And then also you have exposed wounds, which give me critical chance, 15% critical chance on target that have bleed, right? So if you have this in combination with this, somebody that has low health, if you crit, promise you're gonna finish him off. So that's as far as I'm been spending the points of in here. On the zoner, like I said, I'm using this more for the CC factor. I have sweep, which basically I use this when you have multiple NPCs add you like 3 or 4 and you're like, oh my god, somebody like brought all that train on you and you're in a tough situation. This sweep can basically knock down anybody that is in front of you, so that's very useful. Not very fan of this talent, to be honest. I did a lot of testing in the beta, and the gray is kind of useless, to be honest. And then the coup de grace, basically, yeah, you get that additional attack, but sometimes, especially if you're doing PvP, it can put you in a irregular position because some people might able to dodge it even if they're on the floor. So I didn't feel like it was very good talent to spec points in. I'm trying, like I said, getting better with the javelin toss, because it's very helpful in PvE, especially when you're trying to get, you know, those NPCs that run away from you, or maybe you're trying to tag a mob that is far away, especially when in a crowded area. It becomes very useful. I back into force of impact, so whoever I hit with the javelin, it knocks them down, so that you have that element of CC in it. And then you have merciless strength, which basically gives you 20% more damage on that enemy. So basically affects both skills at the moment. Maybe the javelin is not that much unless you get somebody super close to you, but at least the sweep, you get that damage pretty much guaranteed. I do a lot of heavy attacks, so I get damage absorption for 15% for 2 seconds every time I hit a heavy attack, so that works. Again, this is a build in progress. I've been testing, respecing to see what works best for me. I forgot here, I use Deadly Reach. We basically give crit chance on attack. The far away you have the enemy is, you get that 10% crit chance. So most likely, sometimes I get this the javelin from far away and I crit. So that's kind of cool there. I've been testing, probably I might change it. Maybe I'll get refreshing reach or something like that to reduce the cooldowns of the my abilities, even though most of the cooldowns here are fairly low, if you want to call it like that. They're not really that bad. So like I said, I use more the spear for the CC factor. In terms of attributes, I have all my points in dexterity and then constitution. Now if you're only PvEing, you can definitely lower the constitution, gain more dexterity. You can even spend more intelligence, also affects the rapier. Now I'm not sure how the intelligence and dexterity, when you put them together, how it affects the rapier. I haven't done any testing so far. I'll do that when I get into 60, or I need to read up more about how secondary and main attributes affects your weapons in terms of damage. So at the moment I'm just speccing everything on dexterity because it's, you know, both weapons benefit from this attribute, and I can focus more on the constitution because I'm always flagging up PvP in the open world. Even though sometimes you get trailed by 5 people, I don't care. But in terms of like 1v1s and 2v1s when I'm solo, I'm able to manage with this build. Again, not in terms of the skills, this is more for PvE. I'm not very fan of evade and flash for PvP. I'm more about flourish and tondo. I think it's more effective in PvP, but again, I'm trying to master every skill and be good with everything that Rapier has to offer. Same for the on the spear. So that's that. And then in terms of gear, everything I'm specing dexterity and constitution, as you can see. Some of this gear is still low because I've been leveling pretty much, but having fun in PvP at the same time. So some of this gear, some have low levels. I'm not really paying attention to that. I could be better, but right now I'm just focusing on the leveling, but also having fun in the process with PvP. Now guys, in terms of moving with this build, it is fantastic. Getting into the places real quick with no problems. For me, you know, I really don't have people complain about no mounts and stuff like that, but there's definitely ways to go around, and I've been enjoying more the walking because it keeps me busy on the way if I had to mine or log or harvest or whatever the case is. But in terms of moving between quest to quest, because we have this skill, this talent here that you gain 20 stamina immediately after on use. What I do is usually I just roll once, and then you have 3 rolls, okay? So you can do that every other second, every 6 seconds pretty much. So 3 rolls. If you don't have evade, you can do that cancel animation that people have been doing, but I don't think that's intended, so I'm not gonna show that. It probably is gonna get patched or something eventually. So yeah, with this you can just basically roll 3 times. Because alright, light armor around. If you don't have light armor, what you can do is you basically move the gear on your back so you can reduce basically the weight and become lighter, and you can just move if you prefer the medium. I ride light armor all the time. I have no problem with it, so that's just me. Now the other thing that can do is you can do the triple rush in the flesh. So as you can see, there's a lot of distance that you can gain by doing that, and then just flesh by itself if I'm in cooldown. So that's basically how I move with this build. It's very useful. Using it as an advantage, you definitely will get to places a lot quicker. All right. So yeah, guys, this is a build that I've been running so far. I'm streaming every night at Twitch, so feel free to follow me there. If you have any questions, feel free to type it on the section below, drop a like, and that subscribe is free. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.